So today's the big day. Either we take down a man who rules basically everything through fear and intimidation, or we go to jail because of him. But first, let's check the evidence, which, sadly, we didn't really get much since the last court case, just May's testimony and these floor plans. So, not terribly much in the way of evidence, and we didn't really meet too many people either. All we really met last time is, well, pretty much the man himself, Mr. Red White. So we're going to be trying to take him down, and, well, we've already talked to the bellboy, and we already know Edgeworth's going to be against us, so we didn't really find out that much other than just the existence of Red White last time. And this time around we're, oh, hey, how long have you been glaring at me? Isn't that how it normally works anyway? No, not my judge. He's too perfect for that. I noticed. I don't know, in this case it's kind of obvious that Red White is guilty. I mean, everyone kinda knows it, they're just in his pocket anyway, so they're too afraid to speak out against him? But it's pretty obvious he's guilty, so your logic doesn't really, well, it doesn't apply here. Oh, yes he is. Normally this is the dumbest idea you could possibly go with, but I'm pretty sure I can pull it off. 'Cause really, I'm the only competent lawyer I know. The only other good attorney I know is kind of dead, to be fair. Gonna sink another drink because this is not going to turn out well. Oh boy, this is quite a bit to go up against. He probably does. Well, I mean, it's probably not the best idea, but you know what, let's just object anyway. We can probably see where this is going, but you know, if anyone's going to point out that this is kind of garbage, it should be us. Edgeworth to go maximum smug right from the get-go, so maybe it wasn't worth it. There he is, looking as shiny as ever. My name is Sparkles. Certain about making sure this guy says everything and allowing it to go through? Because you don't seem to like him too much. not be the end of the world, but it will be the end of you if you don't get it right. Right, will do. Let's just see what he testifies. For some reason, she thought you were a woman. Well, it does seem fairly solid, but I'm sure we can find a few holes in it. And defendant Mr. Wright, same thing. Right, well, we might as well start from the beginning. So, let's see what you got. Maybe it was 902, huh? Further, because that is a fairly important detail to note. Of course, we do have that already. He has gone on record. I mean, we don't have the writing anymore, but nonetheless, his words still echo true. Unfortunately, he kinda does have us there. It's not like the bellboy barged into the room or anything, so he's got a bit of an excuse. You know, non-specific business. Dealing with information, non-specific information. That's your question? Really? So for this part, we could have just gotten Phoenix a thesaurus and we would have been fine. Hold it! That's all for that, press. No one even has a response to that. That is probably the most important point here. I mean, they saw two different people there. That's a pretty big oversight. But that doesn't... we're not addressing the fact that they saw different things. We're just gonna go by that. That is a little bit unfair, because that's a pretty big flaw with their testimonies. Because seriously, it's not like both Phoenix and Mai would have been in the room at the same time. Objection! That's just great. So basically we're just allowing him to scapegoat her even more, which we don't want because, you know, he's pretty obviously guilty. Especially to us, the player, who saw him murder Mia Fey. This is actually the point we need to press, because he's going to say he's absolutely sure. or maybe he'll phrase it like that. But, thanks to the judge, now he'll amend his testimony. Now, if you'll remember, there is a detail that conflicts with. Let's just make absolutely sure he says it. We want to make sure he's saying left and not right. Because... oh, I guess that was the end of his testimony, so... now Maya's gonna talk, and he's gonna loop back to... oh, wait. Nope. That was actually just her saying that there's something strange about it. I forget that they're still telling us when there is something odd, but yes, this does actually conflict with May's testimony. And this time we can actually nail him with it. Right! Yeah, at last he's finally making a different facial expression. So we found some weakness. We gotta find some way to keep on this. If they're both correct, then obviously there's only one option. Well, where else could he be if he saw her running left? But right in front of her. Do we really have to say that ourselves? Because that's kind of what we're implying here. Now don't you start using big words for no good reason. Is he really able to recover from that? Come on, we're so close. We had him on the ropes, but it looks like he's recovered confidence. And he's found some way to bullshit us now. But I've stated it many times before, as you poke holes in their testimony, it just gets worse and worse. He may be able to revise this, but we'll probably be able to catch him even easier this time. So ignoring the fact that it's a bit odd that Mia would run away from the door in her own offices, basically, he saw the first hit, then he called May over who saw the second hit. But you might have noticed something. it isn't a bit of an older piece of evidence, but this definitely contradicts something. You might have to think back to the first part of this case. Oh, and apparently he's not American. Oh, apparently he is. Well, okay then. I don't even know what to make of that statement, but whatever. I hate this man so much. So very much. Well, this probably isn't going to get anywhere, because Phoenix is just going to say, I did not, which... Why did you think that would get anywhere? Good job, Phoenix. Don't worry, you don't actually get a penalty for this one. He does say you're warned, but see, we still got 5 exclamation marks. We can still find Snake 5 times. Seem absolutely sure about this final blow thing, and really, Phoenix? You know what, you almost deserve that dazzling. Not quite because he's an asshole for doing it, but nonetheless. Yeah, Edgeworth's kinda got a point. We really can't just out and out say, hey, it wasn't us, because that kinda looks suspicious on its own. So you're absolutely sure about this both times. If he was watching both times, then why wouldn't he have pointed that out in the first place? It's a pretty big detail. After all, as I said before, it'd be pretty odd for Mia to run away from the door in her own office. Especially since she wasn't hit twice. Objection! Short, simple, and it screws you up. Sometimes the small victories are the best ones. Objection! Excuse me? Objection! All right, for once the jury is actually on my side. So Mr. White does seem to be pretty good at intimidation, but in a crisis, he can't really hold himself together. Because now that he's got nowhere to really go and he can't actually regain composure, he doesn't use nearly as many big words, he's not flashing his diamonds around, and really he's having a hard time explaining pretty much anything. And now he's trying to bullshit us. And very badly as well. This is actually a pretty important statement. He keeps mentioning that or that thing that makes a noise. It does indeed. days, which is definitely good for us. Gonna get another minute. Because, the contradiction here is, excuse me, Edgeworth, I'm on something. Could you quit badgering me first? Right, so, we won't badger him, we'll just get straight to the point, because as I was saying before I was rudely interrupted, the contradiction should be fairly obvious. After all, how does this look like a light stand? The fact that that would have meant that he was looking at the Fancola offices before he was, actually saying that he was, there is a huge problem in that he could not have possibly seen the glass light stand. You can say that all you want, but it doesn't make it true. Because, of course, what else proves this other than the floor plans? Take that! Right, we finally got him. For how tough he seemed, it's really not that difficult to make him weep. But we've definitely got him this time.
Objection!
Oh, come on! What? That's not your theme. That should only play when I do a cool thing. Agreed? Has no one here ever heard of leading the witness? Maybe Mr. White should? goes on and on about how he can't tell who's innocent and guilty, but he out and out lies. Because seriously, he's using quite a cheap tactic. Mr. White confesses to wiretapping, which is a crime, but quite a bit less so than murder. And considering the fact that we're charged as the murderers here, well, that's not good for us. And he's right back to that pose. Hey, I'll give him one thing, this guy can bounce back quickly. Stop having Mr. Edgeworth explain everything. Seriously, I can't be the only person who notices this tactic, right? It would be kinda nice if you would. Just throwing that out there. Oh, geez. And he's got every bit of confidence back. That's not good. Well, he just made this up on the spot, right? There's no way he could possibly have a good testimony based on this, right? Oh, geez, that was short and simple. And it doesn't really seem like there's anything we can actually argue with there. He's just giving the facts, or at least the facts he made up. All we can do is at least try to press. But seriously, there's nothing we can find in here. It's not really connected to any of the information we have now. And really the only thing here is about the glass light stand, which this is proving that he has seen the glass light stand. See anything that would really contradict him. We've already pressed all his statements, so if we go all the way to the end, that's it. And you didn't. No, just having a mild panic attack. Huh? Is that Maya? Don't know why she's calling him to look over there. Great, Maya's ghost! I guess we're dead now. Yep, how's it going, Spirit Lobby? This is the great court in the sky, I suppose. Too bad it had to end like that. We were so close, we had him. But then, Edgeworth pulled, oh my god, zombie attorney! Well, I guess we're double dead now. What is it, Mia? Why are you in double court hell? Oh, I guess you got a new haircut. In training. Oh, Maya's true powers are based on Deus Ex Machina. Alright, I see. So, this is what I don't really like about this court case. I mean, they have to introduce the fact that Maya can channel Mia when she's under stress, but then the game just out and out gives you the final piece of evidence. And then, not only does it show you the last piece of evidence, which, to be fair, you might not have noticed the little letter before, but then it just out and out says, yeah, this is the thing that you need to actually win this case. I mean, if the game just was like, oh hey, you should probably look at things from a different angle, and then you just did this at the, then you just have to find it yourself, that'd be pretty cool. But it also gives you the exact time you actually need to present the note. So really it just gives you every bit of evidence you need, and it's right at the end. So this part's kinda slow, it just interrupts the flow of the whole case just to give you the exact answer you need at the end anyway, and I don't really care for that. I mean, it also makes sense in that, of course, Phoenix is new to being a lawyer, so of course, it's not like he'd be perfect at it, so he needs help from his ghost mentor. But seriously, it doesn't feel like this is a very good time for that to happen? Just because it's evidence we probably could have found if we just accidentally looked at the back of the notes. Thank you very much for not doing that while I was gone, by the way. That was very nice of you. Oh, don't ask Edgeworth. Ah. Well, looks like Mr. Edgeworth's pride is gonna be the end of him. 'Cause we just need one more chance to cross-examine Mr. White, and we know exactly what we need to do here. Present the receipt.
Objection!
Don't let the past chain you down. You can move past whatever terrible thing you did. Alright, we did it. I will shove your cravat down your throat! Guys can make up evidence. We can't find any more evidence. We've found everything. There's no way we can't object. If we don't object, we lose. To claim you're not a jackass. Run along, you little scamp. And here's the other thing I dislike about this case. They solve it for you again. I think this is probably where this should have happened. Like, the fact that the game does it twice is what I dislike, but this we kind of couldn't really have done without Mia's help. I mean, if we didn't, shove evidence into Mr. White's face yesterday, then maybe we would have had some ammunition against him. But, yeah, now we just have this. So the game again gives us the solution to win. But this makes more sense, because this is something we couldn't have done without Mia's help. So the fact that she solves the previous puzzle for us, it's a bit too much, I think. Even though, again, just having the entire folder of suicides would have, had the same result. But, similar to the wiretap excuse, he's gonna try to go with the lesser crime here. Because, ironically, if he doesn't just give up, then we're going to take his information to the press, just like he took Mia's mother's information to the press. And with that, he's admit his guilt. Otherwise, he has to admit about all those people he drove to suicide. Because apparently we're the only ones to actually notice that our friend who is right next to us actually, looks completely different right now. Woo, not guilty confetti, yay! Wait, did you not think you would say congratulations because I wouldn't win any more cases, or because you're dead? It's the latter, right? Live by being dead. Dead life. The dead life is pretty hoppin', actually. Mia's gotta leave to go to the clubs. All of them. All the afterlife clubs. Ghost Chief. Does it have to be 902 again? Can it be 903? Has Mia ever said anything about burgers? At the very least, as obsessively as Maya does. Man, Mia wrote a lot of stuff when she was in your body. Did she just take that time to write to everyone she needed to write to? Did she wrote a bunch of names? She wrote to you? Get it? Phoenix, Nick. It almost works. This is the start of many cases to come. Next time on Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Phoenix gets his third case in October.